Before jumping into the redesign, I would like to introduce both of the characters one by one. First one, we got Kume. She's a shape-shifting witch, I think. And then Harry is a botanist who is secretly fruity, but I somehow wrote him as a straight character. I now realize that these characters don't have any personality at all. So I don't really remember much of the plot except Niana finding out that she's a star person and she's heir to the throne of the star people. The two other characters are just there as like support for Niana, I guess. And since I'm working with a blank slate, I have all the freedom that I want after studying my sketchbook for a few minutes and then listing everything that I remember about them. Here's what I have. So this is what I know based on studying the sketchbook. So Niana is the main bitch. She's, from what I established in the other video, she's half person, half star. I still don't know how they got together. She has powers from her gem on her forehead. She's a practicing witch at a school, which I didn't really establish. These are characters I use when I disassociate, okay? And her mom is one of the most powerful witches, which is that is so main character. And her dad, Papa, is the leader of the star people, Nepo baby, and she makes potions, which come on, you got all the rules. Give your friends some. And then here's Kume. She has second lead syndrome, from what I can tell. She's an orphan, so I mean every one of them is an orphan, except Harry, I think. She can turn into a fox. She's also a practicing witch, and she's pretty laid back and stoic, from what I've seen in her art. She's actually I basically stole Kume from a show called Urarame Rocho. And then this is Harry, also stolen from the movie Harry Potter. He's only male, but he's boy kisser coded. I'm not sure if I was queer baiting there. And he's a botany geek. I established this in the other video already, and he's also a practicing witch. And that's about it. After that extensive research, I based all of my notes on their final designs, and yeah, here's the sketch. Okay, so the first witch we're going to be talking about is Neon. So in the original story, she's basically the main character archetype. She's shy and reserved, and she's pretty introverted. Since her parents are one of the most powerful beings in her universe, I feel like it doesn't make sense for her to be this shy, reserved kid. So I threw that concept out of the window and turned her into a shameless, arrogant dickhead. So my concept for her is that since she's so popular, I mean her parents are popular, she got into the academia with no exam, no requirements even. She just got mommy's big ol' money, and she has this personality where she looks down on everyone. She has this big ego because she has this mindset of, I'm the love child of two of the most powerful beings, bow down to me. I originally wrote in her sketch that she is very skilled already, but I figured she wouldn't really have that much of character development, so I was like, okay, she's gonna be very mediocre at magic. So that's why she's going to this school, this prestigious school. I imagine the first day she's going to be super full of herself, she walks down through the halls, god, Amity Blight vibes. And then somewhere along the story, she gets into detention, and that's where she meets Kume. Her abilities include being able to conjure little birds, which are these little creatures, star creatures, we're going to be talking about later. And yeah, that's basically it. Next up, we're going to be talking about Kume. Originally, I wanted her to be an orphan. We're gonna stick with that, but in the original story, something happened to her parents that led her to, be fatherless, parentless. That's what I'm gonna say. But in this version, I'm gonna chalk it up with she can't control her shape-shifting abilities, and then something triggered her to become feral, thus killing her own parents, thus making herself homeless. Her character design also didn't make sense. Originally, she was supposed to have black hair, but she's based off of a fox, a nine-tailed fox to be specific, but I don't think there are any black nine-tailed foxes. The only thing that I know about nine-tailed foxes is that they have 9 tails, they are white, and they have like a little bit of red as an accent to them. So in the sketch, she was supposed to have her hair down, but I thought of it more and thought it would be interesting if she had a ponytail instead, and that ponytail kind of resembles her tail. Since this is a redesign, I'm not really diving into much of the lore. I think that could be another video of its own, and I didn't really do much research in this one. I've only established like surface level knowledge about them so that I have an idea of what their character design is going to be. I might change some things when I do rewrite their story, but yeah. I do, however, imagine Kume being adopted from the pound or from like a hospital or a clinic in their universe by like either an old man. I think the old lady trope is kind of cute, but why don't we do, I'll say fuck it, let's say old man who's probably a retired military person, and he like takes care of her. Kume just needs love and a little bit of knowledge about her abilities. After all, she learned to be tamed, and then the old man decided, hey, you're old enough to go to a school. Let's send you to a school so you could meet new friends and you wouldn't have to be stuck at home with me all the time. And that's where she started going to the academia. I think it's kind of cute. And finally we got Harry. Harris definitely had a glow up. What was once a Harry Potter clone with clogs for shoes, he was finally a little bit more interesting. I gave him an apron this time because he's a botanist, and instead of a cape, I just removed the cape because who would wear a cape while gardening? And I like to imagine that he's kind of the equivalent of like a robotics nerd who, instead of like a robot, he has a plant who does his bidding for him. His name is Pascal. It's kind of like his little helper. Anyway, I gave Harris Niana's old personality, like this shy, introverted little guy who just happened to be friends with a maniac. Harris is smart, he's a nerd, but he doesn't have that many friends because he's introverted. And that's when he became a people pleaser and becomes a doormat. Not only does he not like know his boundaries, he can't tell social cues either. This is definitely not me projecting onto him. The guy is also like very dependent of his plant. You got that right. Also, I wrote on the note that he's sleep deprived. Same. Anyway, this child prodigy got into school because he bribed his parents into getting him into this prestigious school through his homunculus of a plant. He won them over with a crackhead presentation under one condition. He's going to have to make at least one friend in the school. So in an effort to please his parents, he manned up and became a little doormat. Did he become friends with Niana so that he could do her own bidding? I don't know. Wait for the next video.